So, how exactly is the midpoint at the midpoint? Like, if someone has written a draft of a story and it's 300 pages long, and if they turn to page 150, how close should they be to that midpoint event that you're describing?
Oh, I mean, with anything like this, you want to use, I'll say this many, many times. You want to use what is useful to you.
Mhm.
So the midpoint is really helpful in a novel because the middle of a book is when people get bored. I mean, that's just true. There's a lot of plot in the middle of the book. And so if you have something that you can write to and then write away from, it actually helps draw you, the author, into the novel as well. So I will tell you that for mystery novels, if you pick up most mystery novels, if you pick up a 300-page mystery novel and turn to page 150, there's usually a chapter break there. And it's usually something that turns the plot.
It would be an interesting test that if there's something not quite working with your story, to do that, turn to the exact midpoint. And then if you're able to identify what the structural midpoint is, not the physical midpoint, and you realize that it happened 50 pages before, maybe you're shortchanging the build up to that midpoint. Or if you find it's not actually happening until 50 pages later, maybe you're stretching out the story more than it needs to be during those earlier
Yep. That's
sections.
absolutely true. I mean, drafting a novel is a very long process and you make some mistakes along the way. But with The Secrets We Share, I had come up with the midpoint for that book as being a certain event that happens in the book. And as I was drafting it, I realized that the midpoint was taking me too long to get to that plot point. And so I took that event that happens in the novel and I actually made it the first plot point instead. So I greatly reduced the action down. So instead of writing 150 pages, I wrote about 90 pages to get to that first plot point. And so then I had to come up with a new midpoint where the plot turned on itself in a different way.